I'm very passionate about piano music, and I often think of Dr. Sabik as being a virtuoso pianist. And you take an artist like that, who has studied their entire life, who they love their craft, they love their art, and nothing brings them greater joy than to perfect that art. But then you add in back of that virtuoso an orchestra. And it's the orchestra that brings the compassion of caring, and you have this incredible combination that raises the artistic level even that much higher. I had a heart murmur. That meant I had an irregular heartbeat. And at that point, my cardiologist said, we need to do something. And when I found out that I needed open heart surgery, that's a very scary thought, to think that someone is going to go into your chest and work on the muscle that is most essential to life.
If you really step back and think about it, particularly as a heart surgeon, somebody is putting their life in my hands, literally on a daily basis. I can never, ever, ever forget that. So Jill was referred to me because she had a complex heart problem. 2 of her heart valves were leaky, and in addition, this led to an abnormal heart rhythm because of some structural changes in her heart.
Dear Dr. Cray, thank you for my new knee. I am now looking forward to a better quality of life. Your talent and expertise is what helps to put UH in the big league. Both Paul and I feel very fortunate to have had the best. Gratefully, Sherry Carlton. We have 9 grandchildren. Trying to keep up with them, that's the biggest challenge these days.
They make you think about how young they are and how young we aren't.
Well, Paul and Sherry are fairly typical of most of our patients that we see. They have active lifestyles, but they've developed significant difficulties doing their everyday activities and really enjoying the quality of life that they should be able to have.
I've had both hips replaced. Matt Cray did both of them.
I just had my knee done about 10 months ago, and Dr. Cray is amazing. I have a great respect for what was done.
When you run into something like this, he surfaces or pops up as an extremely experienced and capable person with hips and knees.
I looked into all the parameters of valve surgery, and I found out Dr. Sabik was the best surgeon in the city to do this work.
So to take care of all of her problems, we had to do what we might consider regular heart surgery. And this allowed us to repair her valves, so we were able to be innovative in that we didn't have to replace them. But in addition, because her valves had been leaky for a while, that led to some structural changes in her heart that left her with an irregular heart rhythm, which would require lifelong blood thinning. And we can do an innovative procedure today called the Maze procedure that can correct someone's heart rhythm.
I have tremendous confidence, not only in my UH physicians, but in the UH hospital itself. And I think that that is so important because you know that as you're referred to for tests, as you're referred to another provider, as anything is needed in your health, that you're being referred to the best.
That's where I feel they do an amazing job. I think it makes UH very different from all the hospitals that I've ever known, and it's extremely thorough.
Over the years, we continue to make improvements, and one of the things in my lab here is we actually do a detailed engineering analysis of the implants that we remove, and we really try and study them and try and learn from them so that we can make better implants. We think about improvements in how we deliver care to patients. It's really the process that's improved. It's very similar to, Henry Ford. He didn't invent the automobile, but what he did innovate was the whole process of producing automobiles in a cost-effective, high-quality way. And as a result of that, he really transformed all of manufacturing. That really is a good analogy for what we've done as far as changing the care and innovating the care, focusing on all the other things that contribute to a good outcome.
The culture has really grown up around that care process, and it takes a lot of people to get it done, and you know that there is something special going on in that organization.
I had just a little bit of shoulder problem, so I went to see one of the shoulder guys. He did an MRI and said, you know, I probably should have my rotator cuff fixed. He said, look, to be sure anesthesia clears you, just see the cardiologist so we can get on with the surgery. So I had an exercise test, and it was very, very abnormal. This was much more serious, life and death, you know. I would say within an hour, I was in the OR.
In Dr. Kent's case, he had blockages in his heart arteries. And the problem with that was where his blockages were located. Heart arteries are like trees. You have trunks and branches. But if you have a bad blockage in your trunk, the whole tree goes down. And in Dr. Kent's case, he had a bad blockage in that trunk. And so we tend to react a lot sooner when we see that because there's so much at risk.
It was really a shock that he needed the major surgery, and immediately too. But quickly they took care of it, and it was an emotional roller coaster.
You know, it's very important to fit the operation to the patient and not fit a patient to an operation. And what I mean by that, if you look at the patient and look at their particular problems and then design an operation around them that's best for them, I think that helps us evolve and innovate and get better. And we're building upon the knowledge we have.
Yeah, we'll be eternally grateful to University Hospital for the care.
Thanks for saving my life.
Yeah, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for saving my husband.
As a heart surgeon, I cannot function without a great team and a very skillful team, like the type of team we have at university hospitals. It's the attitude of wanting to do the best we can because we're taking care of someone.